Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Season 2 of Feel Good. And this is a Netflix series starring Mae Martin as Mae, who is a recovering addict. She is a comedian, and in the first season, Mae meets George. They have this relationship. It's fiery, there's a lot of feelings, and then bam, things don't go so well. And coming into this second season, Mae and George are both in very different places. Mae is really trying to figure out who they are. And there's a struggle with gender that Mae goes through in this season that I think is very interesting in the way that they portray it, and the subtlety of how they build towards a specific realization that Mae finally has about themselves, and I really appreciated that. Mae also starts this season off in Canada, in rehab. Things aren't going so hot. Things don't go so great, and it's basically like, let's escape from Canada. And, of course, Mae being insecure, as always, because if it's one thing, Mae is definitely insecure. They wind up heading back and trying to reconnect with George, who has moved on, found somebody. And this guy that George is dating, just there's something about him that is just like too good to be true. And it's like that they know they're so good and they're going to rub it in your face about it. And it's just like, I don't like this guy. But George is having her own struggles of trying to get over Mae. And, you know, they get back together, and like George is struggling with George has a lot of fantasies, sexual fantasies, and some of the people she's with are a little afraid of the toxicity of these fantasies, and it's just like, or you could not kink shame her. And this season finds Mae and George colliding back together in a fiery way, and then trying to find the healthy balance of where they could actually be a viable couple together. And they go through some twists and turns, ups and downs. And Mae is also going through some professional development as Mae gets a chance to be on a television show, but is pushed by her agent to really point out on a big public stage about some sexual harassment that Mae experienced in her past with this particular person. And also Mae has to come to grips with the toxic relationship that they had in their past and try to process all of that as well. And I find it very interesting how this series is able to really grab the audience and make them really want to root for George and Mae, even though there's a lot of toxic elements here. And it's because both of them need to process through things. And what I love most about the second season is we get that processing, and because this series only has 2 seasons, and it takes us to the point where it's just like we can see them grow together instead of 2 people who really are in love who might not be the best for each other at that time. And I appreciate the growth we see. I appreciate that both Mae and George get a lot of personal growth, professional growth, and all along the way there's a lot of crazy, fun, engaging, and also well-written and complicated supporting characters all around that add other levels of dimension. You have, Mae confronting their parents and these expectations that they have of Mae. You have George trying to find new ways to keep relevant and, engaged with her work at work. And in the end, I think this season is a great follow-up to the first one. I think develops this relationship in a really compelling and resonant way that you could connect to and root for, and also see enough growth where you're just like, I love them together, but they shouldn't be together. They're toxic as hell. And yeah, there is that toxicity, and them growing and developing and getting past it is the journey that's so enjoyable to watch in this series. Highly recommend this. I love these two together. And Mae Martin and Charlotte Ritchie are just absolutely impeccable as these characters, and really bring them to life in such a genuine way. But those are my thoughts on Season 2 of Feel Good. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.